appear, and then you select the star.
In the actual form?
So from the menu view, so not from the form, but in the menu, if you right click on the menu item that you want to add to your favorites, a little box should appear around it. And then on the bottom right, there's that star that you can see on Lori's screen.
Ah.
And then if you select that, it's a favorite.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's Canada for me, Matt. I always have a blank.
We'll cover that one day.
Oh, the only thing I've mastered.
I noticed that's awesome.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Of course.
Did Bhavna send out Project Alpha P05 that generates the purchase orders? I'm just curious. I don't
So
reading that, and I think that's on our instructions.
yeah, so
I was just wondering if that.
yeah, so you should have if you guys could see my desk right now, you'd be like, holy smokes, how do you find anything? You should have PO 01, 02, and 03.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure because I know we're kind of following PO2, and then the steps that we're just doing now, generating the purchase orders, it says use PO5 for the procedure. So I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something.
Did I mess up? Oh, it says that on the procedure?
On PO2 on the last step, which is the one we just did, it said you'll need PO5 for the procedure. So I just wanted to make sure.
I don't know that that's been sent to you, Jen, but I'll look and see. Okay, yeah, I'll have to look and see.
Maybe on the head. Okay. Okay, thanks.
Okay. All right, guys. Let me just, all right, so I'm caught up with you guys now. Sorry. All right, so I believe everybody has generated their POs now. And now we need to link those POs to the project. So in order to do that, unlike sales orders, when you go and you create the sales order, that nice little number pops up for you. It doesn't do that in purchasing. It just disappears from your tree. So we want to link our purchase order to our project. So we're going to go into purchase order entry. I'm going to do this real quick and then I'll let you guys do it. I say I'm going to do it really quick as the wheel spins. And there a soap opera like that as the something. I think I really just showed my age. Woo! All right, so I'm going to search for my purchase orders by my buyer ID. I clicked on the PO number search. Select my buyer, or me as the buyer, and click search. And I have a few here. So I'm actually just going to select these two by holding my shift key. And click OK. Okay, so this was one of my purchase orders. And if I go to my release tab here, notice I don't have a project attached to this because it's coming into inventory. So I'm going to go back here. I am going to unapprove it because I need to make changes. So the approved box is like the locked box. I'm going to unapprove it so I can make changes to it. On the header is where it shows where it's shipping to. So I'm going to go to, back to my summary here, I'm going to add my project ID. Just because I like to see it right there. It doesn't do any good, but I like to see it there. So, and then I'm going to go to my releases and I'm going to put my project here. I'm going to save. I'm going to approve it because I'm done. Those are my changes. And I'm going to go to my next PO and look at my releases tab again and notice that my project is tied here. The reason why is this is buy to order drop ship. I have my sales order line here and I have my drop ship box checked. So I don't have to link this to my project. So if you created one, depending on how many lines you had on your sales order that you did yesterday, but find your PO, and if it's not a drop ship, you're going to want to link it to your project. So you guys go ahead. You want to?
Those suggestions should be there for you.
Yeah, I saw the one, at least one now, and moving forward. Thank you.
For some reason, it didn't copy the vendor from the quote, the order. I don't know why.
So after you guys are able to link your purchase orders to your project, you can minimize that, and we're going to look at our project.
Lori, I'm sorry, my internet cut out. After we go in and add our project ID and save that, is that where we're at now, or was there another step?
So you'd enter the project ID on the release tab, and then you want to approve the PO again to lock it, if you will.
Okay, and then that's where we're at right now? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Once you've, like I said, once you've linked your purchase order to your project, we're going to pull up Project Tracker. So you can either click on the search little magnifying glass, or you can go into Sales Management, Order Management, General Operations, Project Tracker. Is everybody good for us to continue?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So put in your project ID. We can all do this together. And then hit tab. And you should have something in your orders, you should have something in your POs, and you should have something in your quotes. Except for Tracy Saputo, you only have orders and PO.
Actually have something in my quotes. And it's kind of a long story, but you know,
Okay.
you gave me that project.
Mhm.
You gave me that project number.
Uh-huh.
And so when I went to put that in just a minute ago, and then I went over to the release tab, it
Mhm.
had project ID 159. So I just kept it consistent and used the same one. 159. I have everything that you have there. Not sure.
Okay. Okay. So is everybody seeing their project tracker? This beautiful, colorful thing?
Yes.
So if you notice, you've got, like I said, you've got your order. If you have one line, you only have one order number listed. Same with POs. If you have one PO, then you only have one PO in here. And you have this little shopping cart. It means you've gone off to buy this stuff, right? And your shopping cart is basically empty. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to receive my my material, my PO that is not my drop ship. So if I go to my related and I look at my purchase orders, I'm going to receive in one of my purchase orders. So you guys can just watch this part just so you can see how receiving works, because that's going to be our next step. So this is going to be in material management, shipping and receiving, general operations. I can click on the thing, and receipt entry. So basically, let's say this, goes off to a 3PL warehouse, and your warehouse lets you know, hey, I received your purchase order, yada, yada, yada. You're going to come into this screen to receive it into the system.
So this isn't receiving in material, just receiving in the PO that our source has it?
No, this is receiving the material into the system. Oh, shoot, I forgot to show you the PO.
We didn't
Son of a
send
biscuit.
the PO.
Sorry. Hold, please.
Lori, are we going to be receiving every PO or just ones that are coming into the warehouses?
So every purchase order will have some type of receipt. So if it's a drop ship, that's actually done at corporate, and it shows that basically it receives in the material and ships it out in one little quick checkbox. But otherwise, then yes, everything will get received into the system. So if I wanted to actually look at what this PO looks like and go to actions and print. I'm changing this to the SGC purchase order and print preview. These colors are really hard to read, but I believe that says that it's been submitted for previewing. And here's my purchase order that would go to my supplier. It's got my supplier here, part number. This is my drop ship. So if you see it says ship to, and it shows my customer. Granted, I'm not shipping to a PO box, but you know, where it's shipping to, the due date, and the quantity, and the customer PO price. That is what the PO looks like. Okay, again, terms and conditions, please don't worry about those. And from here, you can email it attached to an email. If you guys wanted to do that and send it to yourself, you can. That's up to you. But that's what the purchase order form looks like.
Hey, Laura, just for a second. Jennifer Shanner said that where to print the PO it references PO.5. That's an error. The steps are on PO.3. I'll make the changes to the procedure.
Okay. Thank you. I had a note to follow up on that, so appreciate that quick response.
No problem.
So now you've seen what the PO form actually looks like. You can print it to a printer if you wanted to, or you can just email it to your supplier.
Will our emails be on here? Or our phone number?
Yeah, we need to see about that because it has the corporate number on here right now. As you can tell, this is not the final version with this lovely terms and conditions here, but
Yeah, in terms of your name and email address and any contact, the hope is that once you're attaching this to your email that you have in your signature, that it's coming from you, it has the best way to contact you, so it's attached through Outlook. Unfortunately, with a lot of these forms, real estate is only so much available. So we'll look into it to see what's possible, similar to the sales agent, the other forms. But noted, but we'll have to also think about the time and effort to put those changes if your email signature has all that information anyway.
Also, is there going to be is there a section where we can write notes, or we just like right now type in the end approval?
yeah. So if you're on your purchase order, if I wanted to add notes to a specific line, I can click on my lines and add comments here. If I want it on the header, then I can have comments here.
Perfect. Okay, thanks, Lori.
Sure. Okay, real quick before we run out of time, minimize that and go back to my receipt entry. So if I don't know my PO number, I can search for it here. I can search by the buyer. I can search by the supplier. So I have these POs, and I think it's this one. And I'm going to create my pack slip. So if, again, if this came to a 3PL and they emailed you documents, you can use the pack slip that they email you. You can enter, whatever you want to here. This is your field. It is a searchable field though, so if you wanted to, try to find it again later, might want to make it something that's meaningful a little. Then I'm gonna click tab, and you get this record not found, add new. You'll see this quite a bit as you get farther along in the system and the different menu options. So I'm gonna say yes. I'm not real sure why ship via is on here because we're receiving something, but it's not a required field obviously, so we're not gonna put that on here. I'm going to go to new receipt line. And notice my PO number comes over, and I'm going to tab over, and I know that I had one line, and because I only had line one release, it defaults to pull in this release number for me. So my quantity was 2,700. I can change this and make it 2,800, or I could change this and make it 1,500. If you receive less, I got feedback. Then your PO will stay open for you to receive the balance. If you receive exact quantity or you receive over, the PO will automatically close as a compliant receipt. We're going to ignore this PCID right now. One thing that we are going to do though is I'm going to change this just for simplicity. So we have defaults, just so you guys know, I don't know who I'm getting feedback from. But we have default warehouses set up for receiving, and you'll see it again in shipping. Because I'm in the Indianapolis location, it's defaulting to 038 receiving warehouse. I'm going to change that right now, just for our work through benefit here, but I'll get into a longer explanation as to what all of those different warehouses mean. But I'm going to just put it in here. So the other thing I need to do is I need to create a lot number here, and that lot is used for the cost of these goods. So I'm just going to say next lot, and it's going to ask me if I'm sure. Yes,